All right, hello. Welcome back to Ultra Kellen Real Estate. As always, thank you to everybody for subscribing to the channel. It's been greatly appreciated. So at this time, I've been thinking about a different topic, and one of the things I've thought about as I've talked to other people who've been interested in real estate is not everybody can be a landlord. Even though I really do feel like that's like one of the easiest ways to get involved in real estate, it really isn't for everybody. You have to have a certain type of temperament to A, just deal with people, B, deal with the issues that come up, and C, you can't be soft. When I say don't be soft, it doesn't mean that you can't have a compassion, you can't have a heart, you can't listen to people's problems for a split second, but at the end of the day, this is your business. If you want to be a landlord where you're actually a really big real estate investor, or even if you're somebody who has 3 properties, 4 properties, or 10 properties, you have to maintain a business mindset. This isn't something that okay, well, so-and-so can't pay the rent this month, I'm not going to file eviction papers, XYZ. Or they kind of mess with the apartment, I'm going to make sure I still give them a good recommendation. No, this is your business. Not everybody's cut out for this side of the business of being a landlord. Everybody understands the value in real estate. Some people, I've talked to them and heard their mindset, stick to flipping properties. Don't deal with the day-to-day basis where you have to deal with tenants. One of the things I've learned with tenants, and I was told this by my father and also by my stepmom. It's almost like having employees. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I'm sure people who are parents, if you have a kid, if you give them an inch, they're going to try to take a mile on you. And it's no different than having tenants. I started doing this when I was young. And maybe I had a little bit of, people to lean on because my dad was an investor and I kind of met other people in real estate. But I had to learn a lot on the fly. And I look young now, so imagine me back when I was 23. I had no facial hair or anything like that. I had to make sure my tenants, who were all older than me, I think, if I remember correctly, they were all, I think, 10 years plus older than me. And I had to really maintain a level of respect to make sure that they knew they just couldn't walk all over me and just do what they wanted to do. And it's not the easiest thing, and I've met people who are looking to be landlords and they're young, like the way I was back when I started. Even maybe they're my age right now, like being 34. And is it can be challenging? Definitely. And you have to really work on being good with people, but you have to maintain, you could be nice, but you could be firm. And that's one of the biggest things, always just trying to make sure they follow the rules that you put in place. Can you force people to do things? Of course not. But you have to let them know that there are repercussions if they break certain rules. And that's how I really realized in talking to people, this not everybody is cut out for this side of the business. Certain people, whether you're managing a property or whether you're the actual owner yourself or being a landlord, it's not the easiest thing. So just make sure that you're making sure the tenants know what they did was wrong, and making sure that if you have to crack a whip, you gotta crack a whip and let them know that, hey, this is a rule, you broke it, you can't do XYZ. Or hey, you're late on the rent, this, that, and the third. Especially during COVID. I got lucky during COVID. Pretty much all my tenants are all Section 8, so I was guaranteed to get my money. But for some people, not the same thing. They weren't lucky like me. They didn't value having Section 8 tenants. They had only market rate tenants. And even though they can be great tenants as well too, it just turns out because of COVID, a lot of people aren't able to pay their rent. At the end of the day, especially if you're a small time landlord, you still have to act. You still have to, you have to evict people. If they don't pay, it is what it is. Because one of the main things I told people about being a landlord, it's not about you being an asshole. At the end of the day, the asshole is Bank of America. The asshole is Chase. The asshole is, Wachovia, whoever owns, your mortgage, because they don't care about excuses. For them, it's black and white. Either you paid the mortgage or you didn't pay the mortgage. Either it was on time or it was late. They don't care about COVID. They don't care about any of that nonsense about why your tenants couldn't pay. Even if they let you skip a couple months because of COVID, they still want their money. It's not guaranteed that it's going to let you go, because 9 times out of 10, they're not, because that's how they make their money. So just make sure, if you're going to get in real estate, not everybody's cut out for what I do, and not everybody's cut out for the other side too, as far as trying to flip properties and stuff like that, or even wholesaling. So not everybody's got to be a landlord. Just make sure you know that, and make sure you know yourself and your personality and what will best fit you going forward. As always, thank you again. I'll have more videos coming up soon. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram at UltraKellen, and if you're watching on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube at UltraKellen Real Estate. All right, guys, thank you.